Welcome everybody. Today's video finds us over here in Ang Thong province. And what we're going to take a look at is one of the historic temples that's over here. It's one of the 9 auspicious temples, or the 9 holy temples here in this province. I think there's like over 200 Buddhist temples here, and this is one of the special ones. It's an old Ayutthaya era temple that was abandoned, and it had a famous monk that came in here, took up residence in 1945 and revitalized this temple. And it's home to one of the largest metal Buddhas in all of Thailand. I think it's 19 meters tall. It's just absolutely gigantic. So there's quite a bit to see here. So we'll walk through here and we'll see what all we see today. And I had to park way back over here because they have like a ceremony going on. They got a huge like feast. They're passing out noodles and rice and everything like that. So the first thing we'll do is we'll go look at this. I've never seen this before. And they got like a little shrine over here with like one of the old trees and the female spirit shrine. And they got a pumping water out of here because the Chao Phraya River is right over there. And there's a retaining wall. That's the only reason this is not flooded. The Chao Phraya is super, super high. Yeah, so this is some kind of man-made little hill here. Yeah, so you can see they're pumping water out there. That's one of those little pumps that they use to pump water into the rice paddies. And they got the army truck over here. It's been raining so much the last couple days, and I thought the floodwaters were going to start going down, but we've gotten some serious rain yet again. Yeah, so this is some kind of little moon drop up here on this hill. And it should have like a relic, probably like a Buddha hair or a tooth or a bone fragment. And the main part of the temple is back over that way. And there's a mosque right next to it. And downtown Ang Thong is right over there. And you can see how they're pumping the water out. And that's the Chao Phraya. If that concrete retaining wall was not there, this would all be underwater. Yeah, so you have some naga here. And in there is the little relic. So you got the flowers and everything here. And some of the little murals. And inside of here, this is the little sacred object. Looks like they're just some little crystals in there. You see these a lot in temples. They usually have a fragment or something like that of either one of the famous monks, or a real important temple will have like a fragment or a tooth or something from the Buddha. All right, so that big, huge hall right there, that's where the gigantic Buddha is at. And they have a huge seated Buddha right there. You can see the top of it. And then this is one of the old, on the other side of this building, you can see the little mythical birds up there on that 3-tiered roof. That is the old historic Ayutthaya era image. And we'll look at that last. We have another little shrine here at the base of that little man-made hill. All right, so we'll walk over here and we'll see what the goings-on is with all the food, and then look at the big, huge metal Buddha. Kind of an interesting chetty. It looks like it's one from India is what it looks like. And it's right over here by where all the food is at. All right, so what they're doing is they're feeding everybody here. So they got noodle, they got pork with rice, they got all the fried eggs and everything, some of the drinks, ice cream for the kids. You can see they're passing little drinks out. Yeah, so everybody came over. These temples like this are part of the community, so they do a lot of this. I think today is like a Khatan ceremony, so there'll be actually more people here than normal. We got one of the lady monk, the nun ladies here. Yeah, so you got some of the hoi tot. Yeah, so they're passing it out. And it's all free here at the temple, so the locals come over and grab some. All right, so this is the main part of the temple. You can see that humongous Buddha image right there. And then that old Ayutthaya era hall right over there. This is the front of that humongous Wihan. So you can see the styling up there, the gold and the green, all the little floral patterns. A humongous gong here. Now this Buddha image right here, you can see the front. It's 62 feet tall, which is just colossal. It's not as big as the biggest one. The largest Buddha image in Thailand is also in Ang Thong at Wat Muang, and it's 92 meters tall. This is only 19 meters. Some people are doing their little flowers. And that's the famous monk that revitalized this temple. His little figure there. So you can see how big just the entrance is. Have the normal columns with the lotus flowers on it. And then in here, oh, it's so huge. But it's quite cool. And this is what it looks like inside of here. So it's pretty cool. It has like an arched ceiling. And you can see the humongous Buddha image. And then it has the little shrines down here for everybody to pray and stick the gold leaf on them. And over here, this might be like the heart of the Buddha. I think that's what this is. Yeah, so this symbolizes the heart, so that people come here and pray and stick the gold leaf on it. There's a reclining Buddha over in Samapra Khan that you climb inside that has also like the Buddha heart. And it's inside of the humongous, like it's 54 meters long or something like that. And you can see all the little shrines here. And so they just have the wallpaper. There's no murals or anything painted in here. And there are those humongous square columns. It does have some figures like this. And you can walk around. You can get the amulets and little statues and stuff here. And there's images all around. So the people come here and pray to different ones that have special meaning to them. Then you have the bells and the paper lanterns. She's over there rubbing the gong. And here's a Buddha footprint. They have the Chinese Buddha and all the others here. And the two nagas that wrap around, one on each side. And you see people come here and they'll pray. They'll touch the hand and they'll touch their head to it. That connects them to the Buddha. Oh, it's absolutely massive. Yeah, pretty cool. And this is a little different pose here for one of the little guardians. You got two of them over there. And then the holy water, places to donate, and the Chinese Buddhas, everything else. Yeah, this is a gigantic hall here. Okay, so let's go out. Let's go over to the big Buddha that's sitting next to it, and then that old hall. We have a picture when King Rama IX visited here. Yeah, the pedestal is absolutely gigantic just in itself. And then these are all the small little relics and Buddhas and everything else that's around here. And you can see the backside of it. Yeah, I like seeing stuff like this. It's pretty cool. I'm not a Buddhist, but it's interesting to see what people do with their time and money and everything. Now, the locals donate to this. They make merit, and that's what upkeeps the temple. All the locals come here. They donate money for new buildings, for maintenance. They also donate food and clothes for the monks. And this is an active temple, so there will be monks here in residence. Yeah, that's the whole gigantic Buddha image. They got the figures of the monks. The Thais pray to those also. And then we have another little important relic over there. And then over here, this is the huge seated Buddha that has the two guardians here. So you can see the guardians. They've given those little red flowers there. And then the huge seated Buddha has the umbrella over his head. And then the little shrine down here. And then that second little guardian with the little heads and stuff like that up at the top. So the Thais will come here, pray first, and they'll go to the other buildings around. Now let's look at our last one that we're going to see over here. And they got some more food over here that they're giving out. And that's a huge hall. It's like a meeting hall, probably for like sermons or funerals or something like that. And then the historic building is this one right here. And this one here is the ordination hall. This is the one that was built during the Ayutthaya era. They've remodeled it many times since. You can see that has the Buasima stones here, and it does need some touch up again. You can see how the paint and plastering like that is coming off. Then it has all the rukus, the monster that eats the moon. It's over all of the windows. Kind of interesting. Now, Ang Thong, back whenever Ayutthaya was the capital, this is north, and it's kind of the breadbasket of central Thailand. They grow some really, like the soil is really fertile for their rice crops, so they grow some really good harvests here. But back in the day, this was kind of a frontier town, like a fortification to prevent the Burmese from coming down into Ayutthaya. You're about 45 minutes by car outside of Ayutthaya. And so whenever the city fell, whenever Ayutthaya fell in 1767, all of this was destroyed. The people were either taken into slavery or they fled or were killed. So that's kind of the story of all of these little towns. And then here you have all the mural paintings. These are all modern murals, but it has the life of the Buddha, the scenes of the Jataka. Then you have the Buddha under the Bodhi tree here. And you can see the paintings. Yeah, they're really nice. I like the old ones better, but these are still cool to see. Takes a lot of skill to climb up the scaffolding and paint all these murals. You got the Buddha preaching to all the novices there. Really, really cool. Okay, that's kind of the whole temple here. There's more buildings and stuff like that, but these are kind of the highlights. This is the old original part of the temple. All those other things have been added since. Yeah, one last little look here at this building. Has the lotus flowers at the top of the columns, and then all those little Buddha imagery. They use those little pieces of glass up there. And then you see the mythical birds and the nagas. Yeah, really a nice building. Well, that'll finish up our video over here at this Wat Tonson. This is one of the 9 sacred temples in Ang Thong province, and it's one of the best ones you want to come over here and see. There's a couple that are a little bit better, but this one here is still one of the best. The Wat Muang is the one that everybody wants to see, since that has the humongous 92-meter tall Buddha. And there's a bunch of other stuff at that temple, but this one here is something else to see with that humongous 19-meter tall metal Buddha that's in there. So I definitely recommend, if you're over here in Ang Thong, it's just off the main highway if you're going to parts north or whatever. Take a quick stop over here, take a look at it, you'll enjoy it. And hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and then you get to see more stuff like this. And if you've been here, have any questions or comments, or if you know more about the history of it, let me know down in a comment down below. I'll put the best description I can, but if you do know more than I do, let me know. That way I can learn and everybody else that watches the video can. And until next time, from over here in Ang Thong, remember, life is a journey. So until next time, enjoy.